How's it going, my fellow collectors? I am back again with another Hot Toys figure review. And this time, we're going to be taking a look at the Alien Romulus Scorched Xenomorph. And this is the MMS 784. I know that's hard to read, but it's there. So, yeah. This, I don't want to spoil anything, so we'll start off as usual with the source information. Popular belief is that this movie was awesome. It got raving reviews. Everybody loved it. All the Alien fans and all that. In my personal opinion, it was very good, actually. What was the director's name? Fede Alvarez. He did an amazing job telling the story and all that. But yeah, it's basically about a girl and her android. I guess he acts as her guardian. They are pretty much slaves of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. They get by working in the mines for that corporation, and they basically don't let them leave the planet that they're on. And they promise them that if they make enough money or something, I don't know, that they'll let him go one day. And but Rain, the main character, Rain Carradine, she tried to make enough money, and they denied her. They said, "Oh no, you're not done. You still need, like, I don't know, 10 more years or something like that of working or something." So she pretty much lost all hope. And after that, she had some friends with a proposal saying that there was a Weyland-Yutani ship that was ripe for the picking, and that they wanted to steal whatever was on board, and they were sure it was valuable. And so she takes the job, her and her android, and come to find out that there was alien specimens being transported on that ship, and that's where all hell breaks loose, basically. So yeah, like I said, it was really, really good. They told the story excellently, and not to mention the design, as you can see, of the alien here. Very close to how the big chap was designed. They took a lot of inspiration from that, so I am glad that they did, because it's excellent. And that's the difference between the Alien movies and the Predator movies. The current Alien movies stuck with the original Alien design, whereas the Predator didn't. I'm talking about you, feral predator. Yeah, I'm not very happy with that design, but the story was good, so I liked the movie. But this movie was all around really good. I don't think I can find anything to complain about in this movie. Well, there was a few, but they're nitpicks, really. Like when the girl was infected, or infested, if you want to call it that, with the face hugger. She was literally on her face or the face hugger was on her face for, like, literally, I don't know what, 5 seconds or something like that. But that's all it took to implant an embryo into her, and then, even then, like, it didn't even take that long to hatch either. burst out of the chest burster to come out of the chest. And I was finding that a little hard to believe. I don't think all that would happen so fast as they made it look in the movie. So things like that. But yeah, those are really small nitpicks. So because of that, I think I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it very much. So yeah. All right, so that does it for the source information. Now we're going to move on to the next category. All right, so we've made it to the category of packaging. And this packaging is highly, highly reflective. As you can see my entire reflection on it. So I'll do my best to try to video this. Yeah, so we'll start from the top. You get the Wei symbol right there. And it acts as a tab so you can pull out the box, because this whole section here is a sleeve. And then you get the Scorched Xenomorph right here. The portrait front and center, side profile of it. I think this is the actual prosthetic or costume, whatever you want to call it, that they used on the movie. I don't think it's the figure itself. But anyway, you also get the Alien Romulus title right here, right below the portrait, in a highly chrome finish, the letters. And it says Scorched Xenomorph 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 784. And then you get some of the tail there below the letters. Then when we turn it to one side, you get the title again, saying the same thing that it said in the front. With a little division, there's a little line running through the letters. And I think that's blood in the background there, because there's like a red spatter all along the side there. Unless it's the shadow of the alien, but I don't know. I can't tell, honestly. And then we turn it to the other side. Okay. Same thing. The letters and the line. And this time it shows more of the alien body, which makes me think that the other side is also shadows casted by the alien body as well. It's not what I thought. It's not blood spatter. So, yeah. Okay. And then we take a look at the top. It says Alien Romulus, but this time it's in white. And it's not reflective. Okay, and then on the bottom, it's the same thing. And then when we turn it to the back, okay, you get the Weyland Yutani logo again on the top left, and then the Hot Toys logo on the top center with the Disney sticker seal of approval. And then you get all the product information and the logos from all the retailers that sell Hot Toys products. As usual, you get the warnings and stuff that nobody really reads. On the very bottom, you get the barcode. And then you get the Weyland Yutani symbol again on the bottom right. And then once we take the sleeve off, you get the blister showing the figure and all of its accessories. But it's actually more of a window, but you get my drift. So yeah, there's the Weyland Yutani logo. That's the tab I was telling you guys about, where you pull to take the sleeve off. Then you get it again on the bottom. And then we turn it to one side. So it says Scorched Xenomorph, and then MMS 784, 1/6 scale collectible figure, and then it's got like a red stripe where it says Scorched Xenomorph. Same thing on the other side. And then on the back, we get a cool image of the Scorched Xenomorph figure, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, this time it is the figure itself, and it's not of the costume or the prosthetic from the movie. And then you also get the Weyland-Yutani there in the background logo. So yeah. Then you get the Hot Toys logo front center. And it says Hot Toys presents Scorched Xenomorph 1/6 scale collectible figure MMS 784. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. I don't know how I feel about it, guys. Honestly, it is pretty huge, but that's not surprising because the figure itself is giant as well. But I gotta tell you that I don't like the highly reflective, glossy finish that they put on it. Yeah, it detracts from the design. So yeah, it could have been done better. So I'll give it a 6. Yeah, okay. So that does it for the packaging. Now we're going to move on to the next category. All right, so now we've made it to the likeness category. But before we start talking about that, I did want to correct myself on a few things, guys, for the articulation. There is elbow swivel, and you can extend the arms out into a T-pose. And there is also thigh swivel, but it's at these joints. So you can twist them in and out from those joints right there. But yeah, it still gets the same score. So yeah. Getting back to the likeness. So I switched it out for the Scorched Xenomorph look with the big old scar on his carapace. And I did switch the jaw out back to the closed one. So yeah. I gotta say, I don't really remember. Honestly, guys, I've only seen the movie once, and that was when it was first released. So it was a while ago. So I don't really remember exactly what it looks like. There are versions of the Scorched Xenomorph, like the NECA version, where it painted stripes all along the dome from the front of the face all the way to the back. So it had like tiger stripes all along the dome. So I don't know if that's accurate, because the Hot Toys version, this version here, it does not have those stripes. So I don't know. And to also reiterate, the movie was pretty dark. It was a lot of shadows and dark hallways and stuff like that. So that's another thing that I don't... It kind of messes with my memory of how the Scorched Xenomorph actually looked. But judging from what I see in front of me, I'm going to say that it's 10 out of 10. So yeah, whether you have the jaw open or closed, with the inner jaw sticking out or in, doesn't matter. I think Hot Toys nailed it. Whether you have the clean carapace or the scar on the carapace, I think they nailed it. Yeah. All right, guys. So that does it for the likeness. Now we're gonna move on to the next category. All right. So now we've made it to the category of outfit. But since this figure doesn't really have an outfit, we're gonna talk about the biomechanical body. And so yeah, like I said before, this figure was heavily inspired by the big chap from the first Alien movie by Ridley Scott. And I'm sure that they got like input from Ridley Scott about how they should design the Scorched Xenomorph. But yeah, it's really something else, you guys. When you have it in hand, it's a work of art, definitely. You got all the piping in there. And the rib cage. A lot of people say that this particular Xenomorph or alien has a female's figure. And yeah, I guess I could see that. Everything from head to toe is like really awesome. So the jaw is rubber, as I said before. The neck, the elbows, and I think that's it. No, never mind. The wrists, the covers that you see there, and the ankles, those are all rubber. Everything else is like plastic. So yeah. The paint job. Oh, I forgot to mention the tail. That's also rubber, but it's more like a harder rubber compared to like the wrists and the ankles and the jaw. It's a harder rubber than that. And also here on the, I guess this would be the pelvis. There's also some piping, but it's not attached to the body, so it's kind of loose. But that's really good attention to detail, you know. So yeah. And then, you know, the since the carapace is removable, you can get a good look under the dome, so you can see the skull inside and the eye holes and all that. So that's pretty awesome, I gotta say, guys. And here in the back, you get more piping coming out. So yeah, it's really mind blowing, you guys. I'm almost tempted to say that this is one of the contenders for being figure of the year. It is different, like I said, to the big chap, mainly due to the feet. That's the big difference. This is more I don't know how to describe it. It's like maybe canine teeth. The rear paws, I guess, is what it would be akin to, I guess. It also reminds me of the Xenomorph from Alien Isolation. which there's an idea for Hot Toys to make that. That would be awesome. But I guess it wouldn't be too different from this Xenomorph. So maybe there's no real point to making that one. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the paint job and everything. They nailed it. So yeah, I mean I can't really find any faults with it. It doesn't really have that pearlescent feel that the what's it called, the Alien Warrior has when it comes to the paint job. I mean, because when you look at the Alien Warrior, and I'll give you guys a comparison later on, but when you look at that figure, it has like different layers of paint, I think. Because depending on what lighting you put it under, sometimes it looks brown, sometimes it looks blue, sometimes it looks black. And I'm not getting that feeling with the Scorched Xenomorph here, so maybe that's something that they could have done again. But that's just a minor nitpick, so I think I'm going to go ahead and give the category of outfit a 10 out of 10. Because I don't think Hot Toys missed a beat. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is it for the category of outfit. Now we're going to move on to the next. Alright, so we made it to the category of articulation. And I don't think I need to say much. The pose that I have him in right now, it pretty much speaks for itself. Freaking outstanding articulation, man. Like, but we'll run it down as usual from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. So when we talk about the head, I don't want to say it's full articulation at the neck. It does have a rubber neck, like the skin. But yeah, he can look left and right pretty good. He can look up and down pretty good too. As far as looking up, he is kind of hindered by the pipes here in the back and that little spine thing that's coming out the middle of his shoulder blades. So he's a little hindered by that. And also the two tubes that are on either side of his shoulders. So he is hindered by that when he looks left and right. So, yeah. But other than that, he can articulate very well at the neck. And as far as the arms are concerned, I don't think it has a lot of shoulder shrug. The butterfly joints are decent, I'd say. You can get his arms pretty close together, as you can see. As for backwards, I don't know. I haven't tested that, so I couldn't tell you. But the shoulders, they do rotate a full 360 degrees all the way around. And you can get it in a T-pose. When I defer to the Alien Warrior up there, he can only spread his arms out like, I don't know, 10 to 15 degrees outward. And as far as the elbows are concerned, he does have some rubber skin covering the elbows, but you can get it to, it's a double bend joint, basically. Yeah. A lot of people are afraid to leave it in a bent position But when you take it out of the package, both arms are pretty much bent from the get-go. So I don't think you have to worry much about the rubber skin on the elbow. Just put some leather protective liquid over it every once in a while, and you should be good. It should last you a while. Um, and then he does have standard Hot Toys wrist pegs, and you can swap the hands out very easy. But we'll talk more about the hands when we get to the accessories. He does not have any bicep swivel. The ab crunch is decent. He can bend forward pretty good, I guess, and bend backward pretty good as well. And he can tilt from side to side very well as well. The swivel, I believe it's in the rib area. That's where he swivels from, where usually figures swivel from the waist. This figure swivels from the ribs. And it's very good, I might add. So, and as you can see, you can get the legs up from the hip to crotch area way past 90 degrees. So I'm kind of mind blown that Hot Toys was able to engineer an alien figure to do that, because I don't think they've ever done that before, at least with an alien. Maybe I'm wrong. Their first alien figures that came out, like the dog alien and the aliens from the second Alien movie. I don't know if their first versions of those figures were able to do this kind of articulation, but yeah, this is crazy. You could spread his legs out decently. Doesn't do a full splits, I believe. Double bend knees, as you can see, and the ankles are they can pivot up and down extremely well. I haven't tried to rotate them in or out, so I don't know about that. I believe they are attached with ankle pegs, not ball pegs, but yeah. So you might be able to rotate them in and out. So yeah. And also the jaw can open and close. Right now I have the fixed jaw installed, but yeah, the one that can close, that's made of pure rubber, so you have to be very careful with that. It does open and close, like I said, and you can stick the tongue in and out. They changed that up, which I've been begging for Hot Toys to do for the longest time. They give you a tool, as you can see right here. It's basically a magnet, so you can pull the tongue out. Well, I shouldn't call it a tongue. It's an inner jaw. You can pull that out and you can tuck it back in, so you don't have to rely on those stupid levers anymore that they used to put on the back of the head, which was kind of unsightly if you ask me. So yeah. But yeah, this works way better than that stupid lever. I heard some stories about collectors breaking their lever, which pretty much screws your figure. You won't be able to get the inner jaw out anymore once you break that lever. So, yeah. This is a way better way to do that. Yeah. Uh, and not only is there articulation on the figure, but also there is articulation on the facehugger, which is kind of figure on its own. It's got a wired tail, so you can manipulate it however you want. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention on the alien itself. The tail does have a giant wire in it, so you can manipulate it and pose it however you want. So yeah. But yeah, getting back to the facehugger, the tail's the same as the Scorched Xenomorph. It's just, smaller. And all of its legs are. You can't articulate them, which is awesome. They're attached with ball pegs to the body. So yeah, they got a great range of motion. You can actually even put them on a human's face, like a 1/6 scale. Say that you wanted to put it on Lara Croft. I believe you can do that. You just gotta wrap the legs around the figure's head. So yeah, awesome articulation on that too. And I think that's about it, covering the whole articulation. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because it's very good, but there's a lot of hindrances with the head. So if it wasn't for that, I think it would have got a perfect 10 out of 10. So yeah. And also because it doesn't have any bicep swivel. All right, guys, that does it for articulation. Now we'll move on to the next category. All right, so now we've made it to the category of accessories. And there's not very many accessories to speak of, guys. But we'll run it down as usual, starting with the hands. There's a total of 8 hands, and right now he has the semi-relaxed hand on the right and the spread open hand on the left. So comes with pairs of those relaxed hands and spread open hands. Here are the other ones. And I guess these would be like I don't know, straight pointing finger hands. And he's got hands that are kind of curled in, sort of like if he was gonna grip something. I don't know exactly what those are for. I don't know if they're supposed to grip something or what. So, but it's nice. I'm glad that they gave us a whole bunch of hands this time around, because last time that Hot Toys made an alien figure, which was the Alien Warrior, it only came with a single pair of hands, 2 hands, and that's it, which really sucked. So moving on, we get an extra pair of wrist pegs just in case you break the ones that are already on the figure. You get this tool which is magnetic, and it's meant to take out or pull out the inner jaw of the figure. And that right there. So yeah. And he comes with a spare jaw, which is permanently open. The one he has on right now is the rubber one, so you can open and close that one. And like I said before, I am glad that Hot Toys did that, because now we don't have to worry about the rubber on the jaw breaking. or ripping. So yeah, that's good. And then we get one clean carapace and one scorched carapace that is currently on the figure. So yeah. And then we also get the face hugger here. Right now I have him in a dead pose. Like if it just face hugged someone and now it's done implanting the embryo and it died. It's on the ground. But yeah, it's really nice. Like I described before, it is articulated, the tail and the arms. Beautiful paint job. But I wish that it was the color that we all know, like from the first two movies, instead of this color. And the other thing I wish is that the arms had the fingernails on the ends there. This doesn't have them. It was a lot creepier looking with the because it looked like fingers that were like crawling toward you. So I'm kind of disappointed why they got rid of that. So, but other than that, it's a cool accessory to have. You can put it wherever you want. And then we get this awesome base. It's like a steel grate, supposed to simulate, and there's like traces of cocoon fluid all over it from the alien. And it does have the name placard there, Alien Romulus, Scorched Xenomorph. And it, as you can see, it does have the light up feature on the inside. You can see the lights glowing. And it is USB powered. As you can see, I have it plugged in there. So you don't have to worry about installing batteries. And you get the stand, the pole that holds the figure up, which is kind of uniquely shaped. You can see it has a space so it can, so the tail can pass through basically. So yeah, that's nice. And yeah, that's about it for the accessories. I kind of wish that they did give us a blood effect, kind of like they did with the Alien Warrior, where you could attach it with magnets or squeeze them into the rib cage. So that would have been nice to have, especially since now we have the permanently open jaw. You can pose them, or you would have been able to pose them like getting wounded and like screaming because it's in pain. That would have been nice. That would have been awesome to have. And I think it's essential to have that. So, yeah. And I'm sure it could have came with an extra face hugger or something like that. So yeah, it is a little lacking on the accessories. So I am gonna give it. I'll give it a 9, I guess, out of 10. So yeah, that does it for the accessories. Now we're gonna add up the scores and wrap up this review. Alright, so to add up the score and wrap up this review, guys, this figure gets a 54 out of 60. So not too bad at all. Like I said before, I think it is a real contender for figure of the year. And yeah, we'll see where it places when the year ends. But I did want to show you how it's going to look in my display. This is how it's going to be for a while. I know it's kind of crammed, but it is what it is. I also wanted to show you guys a few pictures of what the figure looks like when it's not crouched, when it's posed next to Ripley. And when it's posed next to the alien warrior. Obviously, I can't put the figure in the detolf when it's standing straight up. It has to be crouched. It's either that or bust. So yeah. But yeah, this is the final look of what it's going to look like. So yeah, that does it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. And until next time, guys, I shall catch you all later on the tube. All right, bye, guys.